are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Eluding the pressure right. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. They fake the give. Now Kaepernick being chased out left. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now Austin. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Faking the give. Now Watson. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying, make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
And here's Rodgers on the return. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Sitting at first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
And this shot downfield on second down is brought in. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Kaepernick now to throw. And he's going to go down. It's a sack on Kaepernick.
They just gave up a sack there, if I'm not mistaken. They gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, just looking really porous, aren't they? They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. He will return this from deep in the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Darius Leonard, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another try after the first down sack. Watson. He'll find the rookie from Michigan, Nico Collins. And Deshaun Watson, and when you think about the toughest quarterbacks in the league to game plan against, he's got to be in your top 5, does he not?
And when you talk about game planning, putting him in the top 5, that's an easy call because he can make every throw. That's not an issue at all. He has great touch delivering the football. But that mobility, that added dimension, when he escapes the pocket and those receivers find their way open, short, medium, and long, he finds the right guy. And last but not least, his toughness. He can stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. On the return, it's Rodgers. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the... All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here's Rodgers to return. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and it's 3rd and 5. Now Kaepernick. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Flushed out right. He's letting it fly for Cooks. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. These two teams met in Indy earlier in the year with the Colts coming out on top. So a win here in Houston would give them the season sweep. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. To throw, Kaepernick. This is caught by Hilton. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Hines. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Malcolm Smith there for the stop. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Kaepernick. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it, because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Watson now to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. 3rd down here. Now Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Pulled in at the 24. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now a play fake. Kaepernick eluding the pressure right. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game, because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. D Ford make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Here's Tommy Townsend now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the 2nd sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And he takes it all the way down to the 3.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Colts have taken the lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. And he returns this to the 22. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm. A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Nico Collins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rocky Sin. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And he'll get this one down to about the 17. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 2. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. On play action, it's Kaepernick. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Steps away to his left. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
Here's Austin. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Watson on 3rd down.
And this will be swung out for Lindsey.
And he's got room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. This, the 2nd meeting between these two division rivals. You might recall they met earlier in the year.
Check. Motion on the back.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And he's got this down to the 35. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. 1st down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And that is incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Watson looks to throw again. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Dancing to his left. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Looking sideline, incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now it's Watson. Flushed out right. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. Buying time to his left. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the ship. Watch out. Hey, 31.
Back to throw, Watson. Forced out to his left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Colts pick it up. And a tough turnover there as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you could...
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest-Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now 21-7.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 42.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And thanks to the interception, the Colts offense cashes in with 6. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the...
And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin.
And he will bring it back. And